Afternoons have always hit me the hardest. I don't know why that is. It's always been so. Mornings are fine. There's something to look forward to. And evenings, yes, I begin to cheer up. What would I wish for if I could wish for anything? This would be my wish. Abolish afternoons. It was never my intention my life should be secretive. It came about by accident, I think. My first affair was with a friend of my father's. So really the star was adopted from them. People say Barbara. I've never known anyone so secretive. But it's only something which has happened with the years.
Come in.
Mr. Halliwell?
Barbara. Satisfactory, sister?
Fine. I collected the paper.
Oh, thank you. Any news of the Arsenal?
Didn't look. Sports on page 10. Hello, Mr. Trin.
Hello.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Mr. Quark has explained your application. You've good collateral.
Reggie?
You're securing the loan with the rest of your cargo fleet.
Mr. Trin has 50 ships between here and Punan.
In that case, I can't see there's any problem.
And Mr. Trin is only worried about the time. How long may we give him for repayments?
I'm not giving anybody more than a year.
I mean, that's the bastard of supporting St Mirren. They don't always have the results in the Times. Scotland go on producing their players, but when it comes to coverage, it's Leeds. It's ridiculous, really. They're all Scottish players.
Yeah, it's tricky, I see.
That and the economic misfortune. It's barely worth reading the thing any longer. Barbara. Barbara?
Yes?
I was wondering... I was hoping... Would you have a drink with me?
Oh, Donald, I'm sorry. I'm busy tonight.
Come and meet the rest. Minister, Barbara Dean, you know the foreign minister, Monsieur Van Tron.
Minister?
Barbara Colonel Fiedler.
How do you do?
I'm very pleased to meet you.
The Colonel's just back this evening from Bindin.
Really? How's it going up there?
I think you'll find him a very good partner.
Well, I hope so.
Nous, on était pour un verre au club après. Lui, on est resté jusqu'à 5 heures.
Beaucoup d'étrangers qui passaient par là.
The foreign minister plays an orthodox echo.
I play forcing 2 clubs.
No doubt we'll get the hang of each other.
Good. Let's cut for the deal.
Frank?
I have not been in England for too long a time.
No. Well, I haven't been back.
Both my daughters are at Cheltenham Ladies' College.
Ah, well, I'm told it's a very good school.
I wish I got more chance to visit them. I'm told Sports Day is the highlight of the year.
We seem to have visitors from Mimi's Flamboyant.
Well, I guess they got no place to go. Now, you'd think there'd be somewhere.
Waiter. On the way, my Condi. It's a shortage of Americans. With so few GIs left, the living is hard. What can these girls do? You create the industry. Now they are fed up because you are no longer here.
I don't know. There are one or two of us.
Some of us have friends who keep them in work. One time in
Spain.
2 hearts.
I'm sorry, partner. I'm no use to you at all. Will you excuse me?
I'd like to give you a military briefing. Now, I've written a situation report based on my visit to Bin Din. Of course, within the terms of the Paris Agreement, we can no longer give you military advice. But perhaps I can tell you, we do see formations. We think the North are going to make an offensive in the new year. It's come to be regular, like the baseball season. It would certainly help if we could get to see your President Chu pretty soon. As for the scale of the offensive, or where it's likely to take place, it's too early to say. But there's certainly been a big buildup. Now, maybe you should look to Tay Ninh.
I see. Thank you, Miss Dean. An excellent evening, Colonel.
Minister?
Good night.
Good night.
Barbara, I'll see you home in my car.
I've arranged a cab.
นิดหน่อยลองอุ้ยกระจอกเป็นทหารในชะลอฝรั่งข้าฟ้าเอากันนะอะไรนะว่าเท่ากันก็ไม่เอาก็ใช่สิกระจอกเปล่าพวกแกเป็นทหารน่ะชะลอฝรั่งก่อนลบก่อนจริงหรอรู้ได้ไงมันไม่มันเงินก็ไม่มีอุ้ยมีทาง
They're still out there. You just take some money across. Would you do it for me, please? As a
You know,
favor?
it's not...
No, but as a favor, Fred. Spray, you number one. You want to fuck me?
No, it's all right. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Hi.
Hello.
Waiting for a taxi? Think the wheels have finally fallen off. Listen, I can easily help you. I have a car right over there. I give you a lift.
Hey, Bob.
Frank, how are you?
Do you know Barbara Dean?
No, I don't.
Bob's kindly offered. He's going to run me home.
Where do you work?
I work at the embassy. I'm a minor official, one of the many, I'm afraid.
Why do you drive a Ford Pinto?
I see, you know.
I don't understand.
Neither do we.
The allocation, I mean, if the CIA is meant to be so secret, why do they issue you all with the same car?
Beats me. Kind of arrogance, maybe. Let's face it, everyone knows anyway. If all the cultural attaches in Saigon were genuine, this would be the most cultured nation on earth, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm a spook.
Look.
What? Oh, yeah.
Still out selling the jasmine. Such a beautiful town.
It is. I'd forgotten.
I know. People do.
What part of England are you from?
Bournemouth. You wouldn't know it. It's the English version of Vung Tau.
By the ocean.
Exactly. It's where you go when you're planning to die.
Yeah? Ours is called Florida.
Yeah. Yours has the sun. Yes, come up.
It was the ultimate irony, really. I joined the CIA to avoid Vietnam. Quite a few of us did the same thing. It was my law professor. He said if you want to avoid a war, the safest place to be is inside the bureaucracy. Tuck yourself away, join the CIA. And that was it. Put me in Washington. Strategic analysis, balance of power. It was fine. I was having a good time. I mean, in the way you do. Kept telling myself I didn't really work there. I was just avoiding the draft. Then a colleague in the department filled in my name as a joke. Like ordering someone Reader's Digest. He thought it would be very funny if I were sent to Vietnam.
Would you like another beer?
Sure, I'll have one more. Thank you. You know, I can get you Heineken at the PX.
No,
I think this stuff has probably killed people.
I like 33.
Then you must be tough.
What's your view? You must tell me. Do you think the South will be able to hold on?
That's my job, to judge that. That's precisely what I'm doing here. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you. Thanks for the beer. I hope I'll see you again.
Dear Mum, I'm sorry it's so long since I've written. To be honest, I've been too busy at work. You'll be pleased with my check, a little bit extra. The bank have just come through with my raise. Life here continues very much as usual. The year of the tiger will soon be the year of the cat.
Tôi lại lấy tiền của tôi đây này. Lấy dư đây. Nói những này nghe không?
I am sorry, but I will have to refuse you. It's simply impossible to take all that money out.
Tôi không biết gì hết. Tôi không chịu đâu.
You ask your friend to stop saying I can't transact business in
Tôi không biết gì cả. Tiền của tôi là thứ cho tôi dư. Mau lên.
There are government regulations which expressly forbid the export of such a large amount of money. Keep your voice down.
Mr. Hallowell, I wonder... I think Mr. Henderson may be needing some assistance out there.
It's a bank, not a monkey house. Keep your voice down. will talk to you.
Right, in a moment.
Could you come quickly?
Just get out. It's not a nice question. I'm not.
Yes?
I can't even understand what he's saying. Will you please listen to me? I won't talk to you if you keep on shouting. I will not talk to you if you keep on shouting. Keep your voice down, sir.
I'm on my way. What appears to be the problem, Mr. Henderson?
Rửa tiền cho tôi vừa, tiền của tôi lại lấy tiền của
Perhaps
tôi.
you'd like to speak with the manager.
Tiền của tôi tất cả đưa đây cho tôi.
Fu.
Mr. Fu,
Lấy liền, tôi lấy liền.
perhaps I can help you.
Không, tôi không chịu.
Sir, this gentleman want to withdraw all his money as soon as possible. He want to leave the country right away.
Of course, he'll get his
Mau.
money.
Ông ta nói là có thể vào
Would you like to come into my office?
Ông ta nói vào cửa trong phòng.
Được, kiểu vậy cũng được. Mở mau.
Perhaps I might relieve you of that gun.
Không. Kiểu nào tôi cũng phải được tiền ngày này. Nghe không? Tôi không chịu đâu. Kiểu nào tôi cũng phải được.
You know, you must be crazy. You should lock the door. You have any idea how dangerous it is?
Nobody wants a white English woman. How are you?
You haven't been to the club?
Have you been looking?
Uh-huh.
No, I've been reading my books. It's wonderful here in the evenings. The silence lately. The peace.
I'm afraid I've always been emotionally stupid. I never know, even when it's incredibly blatant.
I think this time you probably have the idea.
No, I thought I did.
Yes. You have it.
Well, I thought I'd better come around and check it out anyway.
What a relief. The embarrassment if it turned out that you got it wrong.
Yeah, well, I did think of that. It was a definite factor. Cigarette?
No.
I was right. CIA intelligence, terrific.
And are you there?
No, it's done without me.
What did...
They're beaten and put back in their cells. Today I went crazy. I went to see one of my best prisoners. His shirt fell open. He had scars, big welts right across here. He'd been beaten to hell.
What's wrong?
It's just stupid. He's an important enemy source. 10 days I've been sitting there patiently, the small wooden table, just leading him on. Today I go in, it seems somebody got a little restless. No need to wait for Shano anymore. So lame. I mean, the agents you captured, they're your lifeblood. You don't go around hitting them in the mouth. You hit people, they just go stubborn on you, or they just tell you what they think you most want to hear. You have to get the facts first. Make sure you've got the facts, and later, hell, you can throw him out of a helicopter. But afterwards...
Does it happen?
Of course.
The man at the bank? Well, they're quite easy going. We've all been here for so long. Scots are nearly always bankers or engineers. The funniest is, do you know the British Council?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you don't know, but they still have a library here to encourage the spread of English culture. Good idea, yes, here in Saigon. And I went there. Just one girl running it. Well, she's Vietnamese. She sits at the desk. I went up there. Doesn't speak English.
Well, sure. I'm gonna get you someone.
What?
A house guard. You should have someone here to guard you.
I loved all our meetings, as long as they were private. It was all much harder when we started to go out. I never quite knew what my role was. Nor, I think, did anyone else.
The man who's giving the party, his name's Jack Conklin. He's my immediate boss. He's the CIA station chief. You remember?
I'll try.
Merry Christmas, Bob. How are you?
Fine. Merry Christmas to you.
Good to see you.
Jack, I'd like for you to meet Barbara Dean.
How do you do?
Jack Conklin.
Glad to meet you. Very glad that you could make it.
Barbara works at the bank.
General Chip Namoy. Oh, well. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Step right over there, you'll find a drink. Okay.
One with the bull.
Real American turkey, thank you.
Are we a couple? In public?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I enjoy the uncertainty.
Well, I think for the moment we should stay good friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends, fellow Americans, guests, hosts, meaning Nina certainly, but also host people, host country, whose representatives we're always happy to have among us. Old friends, new friends. Merry Christmas. May next year please be as good as the last. Chip, Chip Num Moy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. People don't understand this aid allocation. People just don't understand how important it is. We need Congress to vote $300 million because right now out here we need a gesture to prove the U.S. still supports President Trudeau's regime. In fact, $300 million ain't nearly enough. They need much more. But it would be symbolic, a symbol of the American intention to help. And back home, there's a lot of opposition. Left-wing elements, liberals, people who never really liked the war in the first place are now just saying we should get out, go home, forget about it, abandon our friends. Well, I don't think that's a viable option. I don't think that's what Americans should do.
But isn't the problem...
What?
No, I shouldn't say, really.
Oh, Barbara, go ahead.
I just don't know much about it.
Say what you think, Barbara.
Well, it's just that, isn't the problem that the money will go to a particular regime, a regime that has a reputation for corruption, and there are political prisoners as well.
Well, I mean,
please, I'm not saying, for all I know, Tew is the best man, but if Tew goes, won't you go with him? Maybe sitting on a branch that's with him, that's all.
Well, I don't think...
It's not...
There's no sign of that. I mean, right now, the regime is not threatened from within.
No.
Barbara, there ain't but one enemy. That's the enemy that's waiting out there.
I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathway of life. I've been thinking a long time, my darling, of the love words I never did say.
You mustn't think we don't understand the arguments. We understand the arguments. They're our whole life.
I know.
What happens is the battle back there in Washington gets much more real to us than anything here. We're so obsessed with this aid allocation, we exaggerate. We're always saying, hurry up, quick, give us money, give us aid. Make it seem urgent.
It doesn't look to me as if they think it's the end.
You're kidding, of course not. Charades. Meanwhile, the facts get pushed out of the way.
What is it?
Gas dump. It's always a gas dump when it's this close. North Vietnamese pretending. They shoot up rockets, but actually the job is done on the inside.
What do you mean?
They like to shoot off the firecrackers, great lights in the sky, so you think it's being bombed. But in fact, there's always an employee working for the VC on the inside. All he's done is slip in a detonator. The rest is just show. So they like to do it. I don't know why. Tell me about England. What's it like?
Well, it's very wet. Which makes its greenness almost iridescent. It's almost indecently green. The people are odd. They're cruel to each other. Mostly in silent, unexpected ways. It's an emotional cruelty. You feel watched, disapproved of all the time.
Is that why you left?
The terrible pressure. All those little hedgerows squeezing you in. Tight little lines of upright houses, everyone spying on everyone else. I'm not even an unconventional woman. I only need that amount of air. I can't get it in England. I know what you're thinking. Will I ever go back? Clark, I'm afraid this isn't possible, really. There's no question of this. It's pointless investing money in transport now the Viet Cong are blowing up roads.
Shall I tell Mr. Kwong?
Yes, if you want to. I mean, yes, it's impossible. I can't possibly defend the investment when we're approaching the worst time of the year. I mean, later tell him I'll consider it, but until then, there's uncertainty. Can you tell him?
Just as you say. There's just a signature.
Hello, Donald.
I wonder, could I have a word?
Yes, of course. What can I do for you?
And another signature there?
Tell Mr. Hallowell of my decision if you want my judgment checked against his.
No, it's not necessary.
George, do you think it's a personal friend?
My point is this. I need to ask you, Do you think I'll ever be promoted in here?
What are you saying? Are you leaving?
Yes, well, possibly. I'm not sure. I mean, there's you and above you there's Halliwell. And neither of you seem if you're likely to retire. So I fact is I've got around to thinking I've been offered this job in Hong Kong.
Good. You must take it.
Yes, I would like to. That's right.
It's nice. We'll arrange a party.
You know, I'm most terribly in love.
Yes, well, I don't
Yeah,
think this is quite the time to
just
discuss
I may
this
not see
kind
you
of...
again. I'm not a
Don't
child,
do
love.
that, Tommy. Yes?
God, Clark, can you never ever leave us? Can you give us just one moment?
Please don't go. Mr. Henderson's just a little upset.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't mean
God,
it.
I'm
He's
sorry.
no intention of being so rude.
No, really, I'm sorry. It's unforgivable.
In a few moments, I shall return.
Barbara, I can tell you despise me.
Have I said anything?
No, not at all. It's just your general demeanor. You behave as though I were doing something wrong. I have to tell you, I've been going crazy.
In that case, it's best that you leave. Hong Kong is a good place to forget me. So you'll be much happier there.
I would like. I feel you disapprove of me. You feel I'm cowardly. Is that right?
I think that we, who are not born here, should make sure we go with dignity. That's all. Donald did leave with comparative dignity, compared with the rest of us, I mean. I used to see Bob whenever it was possible. When we could, we went on meeting discreetly in my apartment. But as time went by, it became much harder. Anyone who worked in that big white building seemed to vanish inside for the day. It was a city inside a city, always it seemed with a life of its own. On the 5th floor of the embassy, the new year had begun much as they'd expected. Offences from the north had started on time. The town of Phoc Bin fell at the beginning of January. But then Ban Mithwat fell early in March. Somehow, up till then, nothing really told them this was going to be the long-awaited end. They'd lived through so many of these annual readjustments. At first, they just assumed it was another of the same. Of course, I suppose if they'd just looked around them, if they'd ever just stopped and thought. But somehow, all of us, our eye was elsewhere. when we realized it was too late.
Here and here, but they're pretty much pinned down. And the main part of the armed forces is hemmed in here on the road. The South has lost 15 hamlets in the last 24 hours. Here on the road between Quang Tri and Hue, there are 2 district towns gone in Quang Tin, with the north heading down towards Tam Key. Ban Mi Thuat here, of course, consolidated. And in the anticipated thrust towards Tay Ninh, there are signs that's finally begun to happen. They lost the town of Tri Tam this morning.
Jesus Christ, they're coming out everywhere.
Joe?
We have this from President Thieu's cabinet.
We have an agent in there now.
He explains. He says there is a new strategy. I'm afraid it was only invented this week. Saigon. That's a defensive line. These enclaves, these coastal towns, the South will defend. Nothing else. The rest is abandoned to the North Vietnamese.
My God.
There we are. It isn't that we think it would be a bad strategy. It's an option the South has always had. What is disastrous is simply the speed of it. This action was intended to cover 6 months, instead of which they've done it in 3 days. And of course, to do with its suddenness, I think, now that it's happening, well, we all know it's panic all around.
Where's the ambassador? Still getting his teeth fixed?
I have it here. Minor orthodontal surgery was completed in North Carolina last week.
Is he coming back?
Yeah, eventually. He says no panic, the situation is not yet serious. That's it.
หนูเอ้ยหนูทำอะไรลูกหนู
For your sister, what the knee?
Lúc ấy ta kiểm dịch xem kiểu vui sự, chỉ sang bỏ sức yếu. CIA wouldn't care that.
He says he wants this to be the final meeting. He doesn't want money, but he wants documents to leave the country.
It's possible.
Bố tiền tiêu.
Chính như cái ua này kiểu cử nè.
Okay.
Tôi xin kia lại.
He wants to know when he'll get them.
Tell him soon, very soon.
Bố yêu cô.
Mà khi kia lại.
Tomorrow.
我是去咗機票嘅 American Express.
And traveler check American Express.
Tell him first to tell us what he has from Hanoi.
Cha mẹ Hưng à, có bộ hội nghị, ít quy hội, cố biển, bắt bao chân xếp, chân của tôi.
There's a cabinet meeting in Hanoi last night. There have been a change in their policy. Now the North's gonna take the war as far as they can.
Thả mừng tì cùng tôi, ai chân sinh à.
They want military victory.
Thả mừng kêu cho witch.
The policy is called blood sin.
Blood sin.
Witch à, giúp bị có thả mừng cái thủy chữ.
The small blood in the nose.
Ý cái cùng tôi à, để giúp sai cùng à.
They will fight all the way to Saigon.
Tell him we always believed they would stop short of the city and negotiate for a coalition in the South. Ask him if that's still the policy.
Bà, cha mẹ sĩ, cái con ấy giúp lại đâu à?
He said no. They have lately been so victorious that now they intend to fight all the way to Saigon.
Tell him this time I have to ask him, how close is this source?
He says, has it ever been wrong?
Ask him when he thinks this will happen.
It is happening in 3 weeks. He says he's not staying. He'll be gone.
I left that report for you.
Yeah, I got it.
Take a look?
Yeah.
Jack, I made a list. Our 200 most important local contacts. They should be the first we take out. I think the way to do it is for each department to make up a list of its most sensitive people.
Bob, I don't disagree with you, but the ambassador's got to be the one to say when. I've already been in touch with him. He arrived back in the country last night.
Jack, these people have actively worked for us.
Sure.
I mean, there's a whole dependent community here. If the communists finally do get here, don't tell me we're just going to leave all these people to be murdered in their beds.
No question about that. We take them with us.
Good.
The question's one of time scale, that's all.
Yeah, well, in 3 weeks it's happening.
To argue. At least you don't have to argue with me. The ambassador's read the report from your agent. He insists on seeing you himself. Come on.
Hi.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning. Why don't you sit down? Bob, okay?
Yes, sir.
Jack, how you doing?
All right, sir.
I've read your report. I have to tell you, I don't admire it. This is not the sort of thing I like to read. This war has always been a great test of character, but this time, more than any, perhaps. This report simply contradicts all the information we have. This blood scent theory.
Yes, sir. This agent is good, very reliable.
I don't accept that. Nothing he says here squares with the picture we have.
Sir, with all due respect, this man hasn't been wrong yet.
I've read it. Thank you for submitting it, but I shall not credit it when making policy.
Yes, sir. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think the North is still keen to negotiate.
Sir, the agent says that isn't the case.
This latest round of fighting has been very bracing. It's led to some decisions which were long overdue. President Chu has succeeded in stripping down the country. He's made it a much more defensible shape. The area we're left with is more logical. That's the benefit of strategic withdrawal. Now when we fight, we're in the right positions. As soon as they see that, the communists will stop. And that's the moment I'll be able to negotiate.
Sir, I'm worried we corrupt our intelligence. All last year, we said things were very bad. I think we tended to dramatize in order to secure an aid allocation. Now you're asking us to say things are good?
Yes. Well, God, man, I still need more money. And that's exactly why this kind of stuff is no good to me at all. Congress is hardly going to vote us more money if they believe that South Vietnam is about to be destroyed.
I see, so now you're going to...
It's not going to be. My God, how often do I have to say? What is this in us? Some kind of death wish? Some kind of wishing the whole thing would end?
Sir, I think our first responsibility is to anyone who helped us. There are a lot of Vietnamese who work for us. I think it's our job to get those people out.
Out of the question. No evacuation. I'm not doing anything that smells of defeat.
Sir, I can promise it won't be conspicuous.
There's nothing we can do that won't be conspicuous. One American moves, one plane, one rumor that we're going to scuttle, and this country will go crazy right in front of our eyes.
Sir, I can see that possibility, but surely there's a balance. Look at the Vietnamese commanders, the men out in the field right now. The reason they're fighting so poorly is because we've made no plans for their families and friends. Now, if we could remove that worry for them...
What he's saying is he wants us to prepare for defeat.
No, sir, I'm not saying that.
It would be chaos.
There's going to be a hell of a lot more chaos if we delay. If we wait to the last minute, you can imagine what that's going to be like.
Shano, my aim is exactly to avoid that. There'll be no last minute here.
Yes, sir.
The North will stop short, and I'll negotiate. But it's essential I do that from strength. That's why I need a new aid allocation. I've asked for $700 million this week. The president has promised he'll get it from Congress. Until then, we're going to sit tight.
Sir, with all due respect, you didn't get it the last time. And in effect, you're gambling with thousands of lives.
We're going to prove our absolute friendship.
Even if it cost our friends their lives.
Bob, I don't like to see you hysterical. I know the job has gotten hard. I don't like to see you join the conspiracy. You, of all people. Well, there we are. I lost a son.
Yes, sir, I know. I'm sorry.
My son was killed fighting. He died here 6 years ago. No? Well, Bob, thanks for the offer, but I don't think we'll be leaving right now.
Yes, sir. Hi. How are you?
Come in.
I'm afraid I've been drinking. A couple of the agency guys. Were you sleeping? I'm sorry.
I'm sitting in the dark.
Things have been bad lately. Very bad. There's an airlift out of Da Nang. Way's gone, Da Nang's going.
I heard the World Service tonight.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't see you last night. I know you're probably angry. It's just it gets to be impossible.
Why do you behave as if I'm your wife?
What?
It's unattractive pouring out excuses. I'm sorry, darling, I'm drunk. I'm your girlfriend. There's no responsibility. And thank goodness, no need to report.
Sorry, I thought you'd be angry.
Yes. Well, I am. Things are coming to an end. That means going to work hasn't been easy. It's not pleasant, the look people have. Today there was a girl, a teller Vietnamese. She's been at the bank, I suppose, 2 years. She came to me to ask if I could help get her out. I said, well, there's this friend of mine, an American. He can get papers, I think.
Yeah, well, it's not too easy. I mean, for the moment, we're sort of playing things down. Of course, I'll try to help your friend. It's just that we're trying not to let panic set in. That's why the radio doesn't quite come through with some things, like any news of any military defeats. We're trying not to let things get too conspicuous. The danger is people might take to the streets.
Well, of course. You must lie to them. Lying's got you this far.
Barbara. Honey, you know I've always protested.
Oh, yes, you protested to me. I remember you on so many evenings lying there, a chance to talk about your work.
Then you've gone back into the embassy and said nothing. Now you're inventing a fresh set of lies.
Well, but that's not being fair to us. We're just trying to keep things in hand.
This girl said to me, "Oh, I know you'll betray us." I said, "Oh, I don't think that's true." And she said, "Please, you mustn't be offended. I know what you do is always for the best."
These people know what's happening. The more you lie, the worse it will get.
We don't know for sure that everything's over.
Well, in that case, you're the only people who don't.
What the hell's going on here? What are you doing down there? Get up. Soldier! What's happening? It's just one fighter, sir. He's bombing the presidential palace. Get away from the windows! Everybody get down! Get down! What the hell's going on?
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Jack, what the hell was that all about?
Some crazy pilot, cowboy, decided to fight the war on his own. What can you do? Very little damage.
I mean, nobody knew what was happening. Nobody knew how to deal with it.
No. Well, of course it was a surprise.
Yeah, I'll say. Jack, I thought this town was radar defensed. Hell, that maniac flew clear through the airspace.
Yes, I know.
I mean, we're just sitting here. When is he gonna realize we need to get out?
Bob, you have my permission. If you're unhappy, you're free to resign.
Bob! Bob!
Thousands of people who have helped us. We made them a promise, and now it's getting too late. The ambassador dreams of some personal triumph, and his staff are all moving their furniture out.
Bob, I've been wanting to say to you, you don't get anywhere by being so awkward.
Awkward?
Lately, you've become very loud. Whether you're right or wrong, it's not very effective. You're not going to make anyone want to change their mind. Jack Occam, for God's sake. At heart, he's as eager to start the evacuation as you. More eager. But he also knows that the way to persuade the ambassador is never going to be by raising his voice. I'm not quite sure why you do it, what your motives are for this bitterness, Bob. It's self-indulgent, and it doesn't have the effect you require. I say this from personal friendship.
Thanks, Frank. Is that what everyone feels?
At last, I found myself doing something useful. Or that's what I thought. Where they were going seemed unimportant. The main thing was simply to get people out.
There's your ticket. Thank you. There's your passport. Thank you, Christine. Thank you very much. I have the
$100.
No, it doesn't matter. You'll need them where you're going. The flight leaves today. You must leave the bank early.
Miss Dean, I have an aunt and she has 2 brothers as well.
Leave their names. I'll see what I can do. Quark, I'm afraid I sent Lan off today.
Yes, that's all right. She told me she would go.
I wanted to ask if you wanted me to help you.
No.
I felt I must ask.
Whatever happens, I'm staying in my country. My family, my life is here.
But you hate the communists.
No, I don't hate them. I fear them, that's all.
The bank will trade until the last moment.
Yes, of course.
I needed to say how much I... Well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have disturbed you. Good night, Quark.
Good night, Miss Dean.
I'm afraid Saigon is effectively encircled. At any moment, the attack could be pressed home. In a way, I don't know why they're waiting.
They're waiting because they still want to talk. Why fight your way in when you can negotiate? They don't want to see this city destroyed.
Well, in that case, there is a condition. Something we've discussed here before for many years. It is a precondition that the North will not negotiate until President Chu has been removed.
And of course, it is I who must do it. Yes, Jack. I must hold the knife. A cup of bitterness. And you're all so keen I should drink.
Well, it does seem that if we want to negotiate.
Oh, yes. Of course. Sound reasons, I'm sure. Well, so be it. It's what you've always wanted, all of you. Well, now you have your way.
Sir, does this mean we can start to evacuate?
Oh, yes, I know. Let hell come down.
So it began, the delayed evacuation. Out at the airport, they transformed the gym. They built a facility they called Dodge City.
Okay, open the doors.
The last few days, the streets were always busy. All the objects people needed to unload. Out in the streets, people were getting rid of everything. Laid out on the pavements, air conditioning units, fridges, stoves. Only the Cercle Sportif was deserted. The French once more had the pool to themselves, as if the Americans had only come briefly, and the French had never expected they would stay. The foreign minister I played bridge with sent me roses. Later, I found out he'd already gone, like so many, without any warning. The Americans got him away in the night.
Miss Dean, I'm afraid we've lost Mr. Halliwell.
What?
He asked to pass this on to you. He went for lunch and he left you this message.
Yes. Thank you, Kwok.
Are you leaving?
What?
Will you follow him?
What do you think I should do?
I would say yes, because it will come anyway. It's better you do it as soon as you can. I better leave that. It's less suspicious.
Yes.
But your handbag, you may need some cigarettes.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. Goodbye, Kwok.
Goodbye, Miss Dean.
What's the news? There's been a second ultimatum. It says all U.S. personnel must withdraw. If we don't get out, it's going to be bloodshed. The ambassador thinks they still want to talk.
I heard there's supposed to be an attack at the airport.
Bob, there's a woman downstairs. The woman who came with you last Christmas.
Right, yeah.
Listen, Deborah. Could you take her downstairs and put her in one of those rooms? And tell her I'll be down when I can. Okay? Thanks, honey.
I'd left it too late. Of course, I'd known it all along. But that's the funny thing when the end comes. Even me, I can't explain to you. Everyone always thinks they're exempt.
Sorry, ma'am, I have to lock the door. Do you understand? All right, ma'am.
The North is going to give us 24 hours. It's been negotiated. That's how long they're willing to hold off. Washington is insisting no phony heroics. They want us to take out essential locals, no one else.
What's that supposed to mean?
Means what we want it to mean. They've never known anything about what it's like here. No one in Washington ever gave a shit. Better all get some rest.
Barbara. What? Sorry, I didn't forget you. I was working.
I couldn't face leaving.
It's all right. Glad to see you.
Halliwell went.
You must have taken the last plane. The airport's gone.
Oh, Bob.
You all right?
Have I been very stupid?
No, it's all right. Look, you could take a helicopter out. We're bringing the Jolly Green Giants into downtown Saigon.
How do you know?
It's an agreement. You're giving us exactly 24 hours. All American citizens are waiting at their assembly points. They're just waiting for a signal.
You play White Christmas.
Sure, they're serious.
I thought that was a joke.
It is, but it's serious, too. When the radio station plays Bing Crosby, all Americans know it's the end.
Take me home.
Nearly ready. Sorry, I'm taking up your time. Do you want to go on?
be choppers at the embassy.
What, you mean I ought to get on?
Well, I think,
No, I meant, you mean now? Well, can't I hang on for you? I've not even asked for the helicopters. Take me.
Philippines.
Look, I have a friend. A terrific girl. She used to bring me laundry. Put her on. She's a wonderful girl. Let her go in my place. Why not? The chance to be with you. Oh, it's the waste. All the time we waste.
I know. It was my fault. When I first came here, Barbara, I thought I could do this job decently. I thought it was honorable work. Even now, I'm not ashamed. All the work we've done this week, all the people we managed to get out. And also, it's the nature of the thing. Now it's been left to us. Hey, you guys go and make us look good. Well, we didn't. We weren't any better at losing the war than we were at winning it. But Barbara, you made it worse for me. Every time I saw you, you made me feel guilty. And after a while, I couldn't take it anymore. That's why I stopped coming to see you. It all seems so stupid. Now that we're here.
So strange. Everywhere you go, you hear people say, "Oh, I love this country." That's what they say. Usually they say it just as they're leaving. Oh, I love this country so much. I realized it in the bank one evening. I tried to say something affectionate to Kwok. And that's what you're left with. Gestures of affection. Which you then find out mean nothing at all.
Barbara,
Put me on the helicopter.
Barbara.
Shut up, just put me on.
What will you do? Go back to England?
My mother?
I'll come and see you there.
Let's just leave the place to be looted, don't you think?
Sure, why not?
coming in on TV.
Yeah.
Mr. Halliwell!
Open the door.
He must have got caught at the airport. Mr. Halliwell! Mr. Halliwell!
Get in!
Give me your case! Give us a case! Give me the case, quick!
Good God, for a moment there I thought that...
For a moment, you felt what it's like to be them.
How about sending some of the Hueys out?
about these nameplates, the agents who worked for us, all the people we promised to get out.
Jack, it's Beth. Beth Hunt from Forbes Chemicals. I'm here with my designated employees. Jack, we've been waiting for 6 hours. We are here at our assembly point, and no one's come for us yet. The choppers are passing right by.
I promise. Just hold on. We'll come and get you. The crowd outside is getting out. There's a plan. You have to stay where you are. Right. They are coming.
Still at 200 waiting to go on.
It's okay. You will be collected. Nobody's going to get left behind.
Gentlemen, this is from the President. The ambassador is ordered to leave. The American presence is being withdrawn under orders. Thanks very much.
What's gonna happen to all these people, Jack? What can we do about it? I mean, there's thousands. I'm still waiting at their assembly points. I've been waiting there all day. Absolutely. That we can do about it. See what? Shit. What? Whiskey bottles. Shit.
Gentlemen and ladies, before we leave, I just want...
Sir, we gotta get out of here now! They're breaking down the door! What? They heard this is gonna be the last flight out of here!
All right, everybody out.
Let's go! All right.
just remembered something. What was it? Something I left on my desk. Want to go back?
God forgive us. God forgive me.
Yeah, the Americans are coming. Jack? Jack, is anyone out there? Jack? Jack? Is anyone out there? Jack?